Hi guys, so today I have this new embossing folder set from Diamond Press that they brought to HSN for the August craft day, but it's now available there. So they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. And any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. Check that out. That is so cool already. It is called Textures, right? The embossing folders. So as you can see, this top one looks like very computer-like, like circuitry, like a circuit board kind of thing. Look at that. Okay, so it does have a mix of course, A2 size and slimline sizes. The A2, well, let me get my ruler. I can show you. Okay, so again, A2 size fits in the marquee, but I do want to show you that what it does imprint on would be a little bit smaller than the A2. So it is just about 4 inches, a little bit smaller than 4 inches, the actual imagery here, to about 5 1/8, a little over 5 1/8. So you have that info. And so again, that like circuit board look here. And whenever you're using Diamond Press, and whenever you're using Diamond Press folders, embossing folders, if you really, you want your paper facing up, basically towards the print. I know some companies do it backwards for whatever reason. This is always what makes more sense to me. It should be facing up towards the print, and then run it through that way. And then we have this one that's just like all splattered and cool looking. Really cool, because what it is usually if you see something like this, maybe the splatters is what's going to be embossed, but this time that's what's debossed. So yeah, so this other portion gets pushed up. Very cool. So again, A2 size, the little brick. Oh my gosh, you can use this for so many different applications, especially like little window die sets and stamp sets and things like that. That'd be really cute. So you have that ready to go with that texture. On wood paneling, we always love. So I think I'm going to pair this up today just to show you some. I'll show you, I'll run some through so you have an idea of what they can do. And then I'll probably pair them up with the fall and Halloween sentiments. So really quick and easy card. And then you'll see some of the other ones that I run through in other projects, I'm sure, coming up. Really cool. This one's like, kind of like paved, like, what's the word? Like cobblestone, kind of? That's what it reminds me of. So it's just any kind of like cool, like maybe organic design, right? But that's what it reminds me of, like stones. And then we have this one here. It has a kind of a splatter speckle look to it also. And again, on this one, yeah, so the little, how do you see, the background is what's raised, and then the other piece is push in, so it's opposite. But again, if you want it the other way, then you can put your paper face down, and then these splatters will be raised, right? So really interesting, really cool. And then on this one we have like a, kind of, I would say like a tire track, but it reminds me more of like the metal like on the back of a truck, like a work truck or something, right? Where it has that cool like metal design. So you have that. Really nice. Oh, and on these guys, let me give you the measurement of the actual embossing area. It is about 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I usually make my slim lines 8.5 by 3.5, and you can definitely put that whole thing in here and you'll get the whole design. Where the A2s is more like a topper type size, right? You might want like a matte layer. And then this one has like a really cool look, like a linen feel to it, is what I would say, like fabric, like Aida cloth, but it's a little bit more organic. Look at that. So cool. So let me grab some papers. Generally what I do is I'll run it through some different types of papers so you can kind of see with different finishes, and then I make a little card or something. So I will be right back. So with Diamond Press folders, they're, like a 2D type folder. It's not like a 3D folder. They're thinner, which is nice because when you put these through other machines, let's say you don't have a marquee, you can put these through any machine. You just build up your sandwich, and I know sometimes when you have like a 3D folder or like these cut and embosses, you really have to figure that out or else you're going to damage your machine. So these guys are a little more forgiving, right, when you go to put them in anything. I think I'm going to do the wood panel because I want that for the card that we'll be making today. And again, you can just take that, pop it in there. If you have like a thicker paper or something where you think it's more going to be problematic, you can give it a little spray or a little spritz of water. And I just have my little water here, and I don't mean like drowning it in water. You can spray both sides, but just a little spritz of water sometimes helps. If you want to do that, you don't have to. You can always try it out first. And what I'm going to do is run this through, and then if I need to shim it, I will do that. But it depends on the thickness of your paper. So this, what I'm running through right now, is just some, I think, cheap like Recollections paper from like Michael's. So not the thickest paper in the world. That actually looks pretty good. Obviously you see the little spray of water, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But for right now, I think I like that. That's good. All right. And when I mean shim it, like let's say it wasn't as in there as I would like, I would just put my paper, you know, and you can always take a peek, and if it's not quite right, just put the lid back down. You're not ruining your paper. You just put the lid back down. Don't, you know, move it around like I did. Don't take it out. And then just run it through with like a scrap of like printer paper, like typing paper. I just have this like little piece of typing paper. I would do is trim it down and run it through together. So you have a piece of paper that's kind of thin, and then your paper inside the folder, and run it through, and it'll get you a better or deeper impression if that's what you want. Again, it depends on the papers that you're running through. So this is a really thick paper right here, so what I'm going to do is give this one a spray actually, just on the front and back a little bit. Again, doesn't have to be sopping wet. Just letting that water kind of get in there. And I'm going to run through this linen one. Well, that's what the texture I feel like it is. Okay. And this piece of paper, it was European paper, which is 8 1/4, so I cut it to 3 1/4 just so it's like a matte layer. And I guess you can't see that, but this one is giving me more resistance because this paper is 350 GSM paper with some really thick stuff. And you can see the last piece of paper I'm going to use is that one. So like right now, if I open this up and I didn't move it, and if I'm happy with it, then I'm happy with it. And if I wanted to pop it back, I wouldn't move it. I would just run it back through with the shim, but there it is. Looks really good. Really cool. Very different. Like, look at the back side. Of course, that's nice too. On this one, ooh, you know, I don't know, maybe I like that better. It just depends on the project. A lot of times if I have something that's really lumpy and bumpy and I want to glue it to this, I don't want that gluing on something that's giving me a lot of texture, so I usually use the back side of it. It just depends, you know. And then this guy, we will see. I'm not going to spray this one. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. It is, as you can see, very metallic paper. And this one is 8 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to hold it right there. And I'm going to guide it through, kind of holding it so my paper doesn't shift at all. This is a very long one, delicate kind of paper. And I'm just being very delicate with it. I can see already up here the embossing. You can kind of see through, like, I don't know if you can, well, maybe you can't, but I can see in there. And again, just give it a check, and if you're happy with it, then just open it up. Look at that. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so on this one, and I was mentioning on the other ones that the embossing is actually, the raised part is the background, and then the emboss, like what's pushed in, is this part. So let's say I wanted, so as you can see, that little part is raised up now. Next time, if I want that part to be raised up, I would just turn my paper over and run it through this way. So then those little areas, those little design pieces are actually going to be sticking up. Okay, so right now they're pushed in. Hi guys. Very nice. Okay, let me grab some dies and we'll get a card going. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper. That's going to be my card base. And what I'm going to do is I am going to be on the, it's hard to tell now which is the deboss and emboss because they both look so awesome. I think this is the deboss side. And I'm going to take a little bit of white. Hopefully this stuff is nice and heavy. Snowy white ink, just for funsies, make it look like whitewash. And I mean, I can just take this and run it over like this, up and down the whole thing. And I'm being very gentle about that. Or you can just kind of get it on here and kind of just come in and spread that out. Now this is pigment ink, so it's going to take a little while to dry, but I'm just going to move forward. I don't want it shiny, right? The whole point is to look like whitewash, like a little shabby chic going here. So I'm just using a little sponge to get that on there too. And there's like a little whitewash wood look. And I might still work that in a little bit more. And then I'm going to take my false sentiments, which I already put in one of my pockets. Just need to label it. Let's see. Hello Autumn. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to choose one of these sentiments just to pop out. Make a quick, simple card. Oh, grateful. That's so sweet. Let's do Hello Autumn. Let me see how big that is, if it's going to go this way. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out of a couple different colors of paper and I'll be right back. So I cut out the word, that Hello Autumn. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Let me just give it a little zhuzh from back here because I think there's ejector buttons. I want to hit some of those. this little guy out. Let me see, where's my, there it goes. So sometimes the little holes are to clear it out, but sometimes little holes are to help you get your die out, your die cut. And sometimes I just smack this, but I don't want to do that right now. So I'm going to carefully lift this out of here. Actually, this is going to be the background piece, so I don't really care if I kink it too much. Let's get this guy out. Again, like ejector button there. There. I'm being super careful with it just because it's my gold paper too. Like I said, it's going to go behind the brown paper I cut. So there we go. Oh my gosh, that looks so pretty. Am I easily amused? I'm so pretty. I mean, look at that. I mean, you can pop that on there too, but I was going to drop shadow behind this one to kind of tone it down, I know. But look at that. I mean, that looks gorgeous. And I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat, you guys. So I have this set, the Believe in Yourself inspo kit from Diamond Press that will be available if it's not already available. I always link whatever's available until they become, you know, when they go there. So I'm going to open this and hopefully, you know, next video is not too destroyed when I actually do a video on it. I just know that we have this and I think there's like a floral spray in here that's going to be very pretty. So I'm going to dig through this very carefully and get myself a little something. Oh my gosh, so many cute things in here. I'm going to look for some flowers. I was thinking leaves, you know, whatever it is I want to get, but I'm going to grab something from in here very carefully, okay? And in the meantime, I'm going to glue these guys together. And since this is pretty delicate, but actually, I can get it going. I just want to show you kind of how I would do this. I'm going to drop shadow this with this. I haven't glued down the top part of my card because I'm kind of debating maybe putting some gold behind it just to echo the gold that's in the wording. So if I do that, I'm going to cut down a piece of paper and I'll let you guys know what that is. So for right now, I'm just trying to get a little glue here and there just so that this one sticks to the next guy. And just here and there again. And I'll just start with like this area here. So I'm kind of focusing just here right now on this left side, and I'm bringing my brown words down and to the right. And as I go across, I'm going to keep doing the same thing. Just trying to make sure I keep that going. And I'm doing little by little. It's basically what I'm trying to show you guys. I didn't just like try to match up the whole thing at once because that would be a little more difficult. Okay, there we go. And I'm sorry if you can hear quite a bit of traffic. I have all my windows and doors open. It's a beautiful morning. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to trim down a piece of paper to go over this. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm going to do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I did cut a piece of paper again, about 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm going to gut that too because not a lot of it's going to be showing anyway, so you might as well not waste your gold papers. I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge so it's not just difficult to hold on to, but actually this piece that I cut here was also from a piece that I gutted in a different project, so very useful little piece of paper this has been. And that's just an X-Acto, or I guess it's not X-Acto, that's a brand, isn't it? But it's a craft knife. And now I'm going to glue this down, and I'll put the glue towards the inside because again, with metallic paper, sometimes depending on the glue you use, it might warp your paper, so this way it's kind of hidden. A2 size card, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 if you want that A2 size. This is a pre-made card blank, so that makes it very easy. And I'm just going to pop this on here as center as I can. I know it looks kind of wonky because of the way it's cut away. And then we're going to glue this guy down, our little whitewashed piece. And then I just grabbed some leaves. I was looking for flowers, but I thought, you know what, let's go with some leaves. So I grabbed a couple little leaves. Again, just trying to put that down as well as I can. I'm going to hold this down for a second, actually, since it is, you know, embossed. It wants to pick up in some areas, so I like to keep it flat, and I'll be right back. And then I would have that on there. That looks so pretty, again, just by itself. If I like a more basic note card, I'm just going to add some of these little guys somewhere. So depending on where I put this, I'll just kind of tuck these in somewhere. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So I'm going to take a moment to get some glue behind this. And I'll be right back, okay? So just going all over the different spots here. You can also put it in the back of your hand and just tap, tap, tap in. But I'll be right back. Pretty much all over that. I'm just going to pop some glue behind here just for now to hold these guys down. And I can still kind of adjust them, you know, depending on where I put my lettering. Oh my gosh. So pretty. I'm looking at the word autumn, and I think I'm going to put that kind of straight, because it's kind of doing its own thing, you know what I'm saying? Kind of goes up. Yeah, I'll put it a little bit lower like this. Okay. Well, that one wanted to stick down pretty quick. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna hold that down for a second and I'll be right back. And there's my card with that pretty textured background. We have some gold kind of peeking out here and there, a little bit of that ephemera from the kit. Hopefully it'll be available very soon, but either way, I'll link it, you know, when it is available. And thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Diamond Press, for sending these items for review. Super cool. Love having all these different textures, very eclectic and fun and different. So awesome. Images coming up. I'll have links in the description box, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.